I'm Barry Tramel, and the signee I'm looking most forward to playing next autumn is David Glidden from Mustang.
I've got another wide receiver in mind. That's Trey Maguire, the OU signee. Hey, from the Opopco Studios, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Press Row is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, and Barry, signing day fast approaches here and across the nation. OU, OSU getting ready to sign their classes. Obviously, receivers are going to be looked at because of the offenses at both schools. Glidden's an interesting character.
Well, what's interesting in college football is that receivers have mainly replaced running backs as the chief playmakers in the game. If you look around the big dogs at Oklahoma and Oklahoma State last year, two places that have produced big-time tailbacks all the time and did so last season, and still the marquee men were Justin Blackmon in Stillwater, Ryan Broyles in Norman. The guy I'm going to be most interested in seeing is David Glidden from Mustang, going to OSU. Speed, hands, lots of excitement. I think in that spread offense, I think the Cowboys are ready. Didn't have quite enough wide receivers as they wanted last season. I think Glidden steps in, really packs a punch. I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch in 2011.
Yeah, Glidden's a little bit on the smaller side as a wide receiver. Trey Maguire, the guy coming out of Texas, from White House, Texas, is the first 5-star wide receiver recruit that the Sooners have signed. And I tell you what, obviously recruiting rankings can be all over the board. Guys that are 5 stars end up being washouts. Guys that are, not no stars end up being pretty darn good players. We've seen that over the years. A guy like Justin Blackmon, not highly recruited. A guy like Wes Welker, not highly recruited. A guy like Sam Bradford, not exactly highly recruited. We know how those careers turned out. So clearly recruiting rankings can be all over the board. But the Sooners have done what they've done offensively over the last few years, which is a lot, one of the best offenses in the nation, without a real marquee wide receiver. And Barry, I'm interested to see what he can do. I think both of these guys will make a fairly quick transition to college football. And that's tough to do, but I think both of those wide receivers could have big impacts on these teams next year.
Well, what we've seen is both schools are quick to plug in the freshmen. Look at the Sooners last year. Used 3 freshman wide receivers. Kenny Stills was the number 2 option for Landry Jones, plus Trey Franks, Joe Powell. A lot of guys got to play at a young age. I think in Stillwater the same thing with Blackmon is back and several guys, Michael Harrison, a variety of receivers are back, but I think Glidden is going to be able to step in and really take some of the load off and give Brandon Whedon a marquee guy to throw to. And I think it's going to be fun. I love the way that freshmen are playing more and more. The whole concept of redshirting is nice in theory. Hasn't always worked in practice. Both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State have made the commitment to play freshmen when they're ready, and these guys are more ready than ever. I think David Glidden will play immediately. Yeah,
I think Trey Maguire is likely to play immediately as well. Hey, he only fell 5 catches short of breaking the Texas high school record set by Jordan Shipley, and I think most people around here know how his career went with the Texas Longhorns. Obviously, a great college wide receiver. Maguire's not maybe the one thing about him that it'll be a little bit maybe different than some of those 4- and 5-star guys that you've seen in the past go other places. He's not super big. He's not Julio Jones big. He's not 6'5". He is 6'2", a little bit not short by any means, but definitely not the uber tall tight ends that some of these guys are. But I think, whether you're talking about Glidden, who's a little bit maybe undersized, or Maguire, who's a 5-star guy and really highly regarded, I think you're talking about 2 guys that we're going to be talking about, writing about, and seeing a lot of on the field this next season. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.